Welcome back. You're still watching S8 Today. The Human Rights Commission is trying to get to the bottom of violent attacks against migrant truck drivers. Protesting local drivers have accused the foreign nationals of taking job opportunities meant for the locals. Last year's incidents have further put the country in the spotlight, with some calling the attacks xenophobic. An inquiry into the incidents began on Tuesday in Johannesburg, and oral submissions from those affected were heard.
These were some of the scenes that erupted on the national highways in 2019. Protesting truck drivers went on a rampage, objecting to the employment of foreign nationals. They claimed that those from outside the borders were stealing job opportunities for locals.
That the violence was originating or coming from, among others, Africa Truck Drivers Foundation, ATDF, which is a South African organization or represents South African truck drivers. What was made clear to us was that there was competition in the industry between migrant truck drivers and the South African drivers.
At least 1,000 trucks were attacked last year.
30 August 2019 and 26 September. That is the duration for 2 years. Two months that I'm talking about. We talk about 279 incidents that took place, and 60 cases has been opened. 643 people were arrested in this position.
We had a situation where groups would rock up at the gates of businesses, preventing businesses to run, and therefore massive losses, as you can imagine, emanated from all of those activities that took place.
But the prosecuting authority says it's difficult to get recourse for the victims.
Some of the complainants, or some of the victims, they on face value don't come forward to report these matters, and because of number of reasons. Some of these complainants, they have been intimidated during the attack. You'll understand that sometimes you'll find that the perpetrators of this offense, they will be armed and dangerous.
These attacks were not just limited to truck drivers. In the last decade, sporadic violence against migrants have flared up across the country. Some interventions have been put in place to mitigate incidents.
During the 2008 attacks, of course, within the department, we had a counter-xenophobia unit. And post the attacks, the counter-xenophobia unit went out there. There were programs that were in place. The counter-xenophobia unit worked with municipalities.
The Human Rights Commission has been hearing oral submissions from government and civil society.
There's a lot that is happening within government departments, but it is the silo mentality that is eating up a lot of resources, whereas if we could cooperate, use the limited resources that we have, so we see ourselves, the Human Rights Commission, connecting the dots.
A draft proposal will now be worked on before the final recommendations are released later this year. Hasina Gori, SABC News, Johannesburg.